reassuring smile. "No, Miss Holbrook, not exactly. I'm Ed Travers, the depot manager. I'm sorry I kept you waiting, but the telegraph machine—" He broke off, impatient with himself for bungling what was already a delicate situation. "Forgive me for rambling and forcing you to stand in this heat. Come with me, and I'll explain everything." He signaled to a lounging porter, who reluctantly came forward to carry Lauren's luggage. Mr. Travers indicated the end of the platform by tipping his bowler hat. Still, Lauren hesitated. "But Mr. Lockett told me—" "Mr. Lockett did come for you, Miss Holbrook, but he fell ill and asked—" "Ben is ill?" she asked quickly, paling and clutching the station manager's arm in alarm. Her reaction stunned Ed Travers. Why did she keep referring to Ben Lockett? What was this girl to that old buzzard? She was beautiful, no question about that, and Ben had always had an eye for the ladies. Everyone in Texas knew what kind of marriage Ben had with Olivia, but even so, this girl was perplexing. Where did she come from? Why had she come to Texas to see Ben Lockett? She could be no more than 20, and Ben was in his 60s. Maybe she was a relative. She certainly didn't look like a doxy. And why would Ben be setting up a mistress? He had— "Mr. Travers, please." Lauren was anxiously waiting for an explanation, and the pleasant, kindly man was studying her with an unsettling intensity. Having arrived after an arduous trip from her home in North Carolina, only to find that Ben was not here to meet her, was disconcerting enough. Of course, he had warned her that if he couldn't leave Coronado, he would send someone else to greet her. "Is Mr. Lockett ill?" "Ben?" Travers asked distantly. Then, clearing his throat, he said, "No, not Ben. I guess he sent Jared after you, and he's the one who's sick." He was leading her down the platform with an encouraging hand under her elbow. "Jared?" she asked. My God, she didn't even know Jared. But then, it would be distressing to think that this lovely young woman had anything to do with him. It all came back to Ben. What was his game this time? He had a reputation for practical jokes and surprises, usually embarrassing for the recipient. But would Ben's legendary humor extend to victimizing an innocent like Miss Holbrook? In the few moments he had spent with her, Ed Travers had inferred that Lauren Holbrook was trusting and naive to a fault, uncommon as that was in this third year of the 20th century. "Jared is Ben's son, Miss Holbrook," he answered patiently. "Didn't Ben ever mention him to you?" Lauren laughed easily. "Oh, yes. He told me he had a son. I don't recall if he told me his name, though." Her smile faded into an expression of genuine concern. "He's ill?" "In a manner of speaking," Travers said gruffly, taking her arm more firmly as they descended the steps to the ground below. Lauren saw a long, flatbed wagon parked several yards ahead of them. The green paint on its sideboards was faded and peeling, the wheels mud-splattered. Its 2 horses were grazing at a tuft of grass under the enormous pecan tree. Another horse, a palomino of magnificent proportions, was tied to the end of the wagon. Proudly, he tossed his blonde mane as if protesting the indignity of being hitched to such a lowly vehicle. "Apparently, Miss Holbrook, Ben sent young Jared for you, and he came from Coronado last night. This morning, when he became incapacitated, he asked me to escort you to his home. I'm afraid the trip won't be very comfortable. I apologize, but this was the best conveyance I could find on short notice." "I'm sure I'll be fine," she smiled. Ed Travers became dizzy under the radiance of her face and gentle voice. Then he cursed himself for being an old fool and hastened toward the wagon. The depot manager assisted Lauren onto the rickety seat. As the porter dropped her bags